do not park. Hi there, today is Thursday, June 19th, 2025. Currently 77 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 25 degrees Celsius. A nice warmish day here in Poprad, Slovakia. Just took the bus there. 2-hour bus ride from Zakopane over the Tatra mountains up there along the border of Poland and Slovakia. I have a hotel reserved for the next 3 nights here. So I was looking into going to Strbski Pleso, I'm sure that I'm totally mangling that one, and Lomniki Stit, the high mountain in the Tatras mountains there, where you can take a cable car up it, and it's supposed to be some of the most spectacular views in the mountains. And in the course of doing my research, then I realized that it isn't far from here, Poprad, up there. It's only like a 20-minute drive away, and there are buses and trains from here going there. And so it kind of seemed more convenient and practical to stay here and then go on a day trip up there to get higher up into the mountains. So I am now getting over to my hotel, which is a little bit of a walk away. I was going to catch an Uber, and it isn't working for some reason. I'm not sure if it's because Uber doesn't work here, or there aren't enough cars available, or what. It wasn't really telling me why. I could catch a taxi, except number one, I haven't seen a taxi. Number two, I don't have any euros. So in Poland, they use the Polish zloty, and here in Slovakia, they use the euro. So there's an ATM along this street, and so first thing is get some cash so that I'm prepared in case I then see a taxi, and then try the Uber app again, see if it works now, and if not, then just start walking. And it is a walkable distance to my hotel, just a bit of a walk with my backpack here, but I won't mind doing it too much, especially to see the town. So here we go. First day in Slovakia, at least this trip. So I've been to Slovakia twice before, but only to Bratislava, the capital and largest city in western Slovakia. That is a few hours away from here. And so the first time was just for, I believe, 2 nights, way back in 2017. And then a year ago, I was in the Czech Republic, and I found a good flight out of Bratislava. I think that was to Greece. And then I wandered around the city center and got lunch, and then went out and caught my flight. And so I was just there for a couple of hours. So point being, I really haven't seen much of this country. So this is first impressions of Poprad and Poprad, and this part of Slovakia so far, you know, not too fascinating, but I think it's going to be good. The city here has a nice old town, and so I will head over there as soon as I check into my hotel. This must be the ATM. Yep. Oh, that sign doesn't look good. Ah, dang it. I think there was another ATM down this way, but either way, this is the direction of my hotel. So just gonna keep on walking and drop this backpack ASAP, and then wander around much more freely. So looking forward to seeing more of Poprad and Slovakia in general. I will very likely go from here to Košice, if I'm saying that right, the second largest city of Slovakia, which is only an hour away. And there is an airport there, so I might catch a flight out of there, but not making any plans yet. Not sure how long I'm going to stay in Slovakia altogether. We shall see. All right, let's figure things out. All right, there is supposedly another ATM right down here. So, Slovakia is a Slavic country, same as Poland and many of the countries in Eastern Europe. So the language is similar but different. I asked a guy, the taxi driver, when I first arrived in Zakopane and caught a taxi from the train station over to my hotel there. And so I was talking with him and asked him about talking with Slovak people. That came up for some reason. They're similar but definitely not like mutually intelligible. So you can't just talk to each other easily. All right, so there's good news and fortunately no bad news, just annoying news. So the ATM worked. It gave me my cash. It didn't ask me about the currency conversion scam, and it didn't charge a fee. So I would just be charged $5 by my bank at their end. And I withdrew 400 euros. So I withdrew a large amount, as I generally do, because it is a flat fee of $5. And so the more I withdraw, the less I'm paying in the fee percentage-wise. But the annoying news is that I opened up my money belt and realized I'd forgotten that I had euros from when I was in Italy left over, 410 euros left over, and I just withdrew 400. And so that was totally unnecessary, but at least I got it for no fee, and I won't need to visit an ATM for a long while, especially since credit cards are accepted so many places. Anyways, now I am just a 15-minute walk over to my hotel along this very lovely river here. So going to walk it and show you a bit of Poprad along the way. But first impressions are really good, actually, even though it's kind of an average, not too exciting city, which should get nicer as we get into the old town. But I really just like the vibe. It is so relaxed. It just feels really far removed from Western Europe and busier, you know, more cosmopolitan cities. It just has a really mellow, chilled out atmosphere to it. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing more. Definitely getting some communist era vibes from some of the buildings. Looks like I'm in more of an industrial part of town, seeing factory smokestacks up there. So Slovakia was not part of the USSR, the Soviet Union, but of course it was part of Czechoslovakia, so Czech Republic and Slovakia as one country until all of those communist countries broke apart. Okay, that's where I need to go. Oh, maybe I can go there. Well, that's a pain for somebody on foot. Well, let's see how far it is to get around this way. Ay, 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 ay. Oh man. And probably just trying to go like that isn't a good idea. And didn't have to go too far out of the way, fortunately. There's an underpass here. So we have a big church up ahead, Maybe that's the cathedral, in which case that could be the old town up there. I have no idea where the old town is, but that's a good sign. I'm headed right that way. A nice cathedral should be a nicer part of the town than this. So still a crappy part of the city here. Not sure if these lights are working. But there, the cathedral. Let's just go for it. So that would be ideal if the old town is over there and I don't have to walk all the way through this stuff again to get to it. We'll see. I'll figure that out soon. Oh, boom. That's the place. Excellent. Nice mural. Okram Dopravne Absoluhi. All right down here. Well, this is a much nicer neighborhood than 20 seconds that way. Sun Valley. So I searched online for Sun Valley, Slovakia, and nothing came up. So I guess that is referring to Idaho in the US, which is a ski area. It is also a ski area around here in the mountains of Slovakia. So here we go. Nice room. Just one problem. I really do not like twin beds. So when I was searching for places to stay here, then this place had rooms with only twin beds and rooms with double beds, or a double bed and 2 twin beds. So I prefer not to have any extra beds. I just want one double bed and not have the kind of clutter of beds that I'm not using. But at least it said there were rooms with a double bed and 2 twin beds. And so I requested that. But when I went to check in, she said, sorry, we're full up. This is the only room we have available. And so this is what I get. I will live with it. And this is actually better than the bed that I showed in Zakopane there, that I talked about in a video, in which it was this weird pull-out bed with sideboards on both ends. At least this is open at the end, so I'm not going to have to worry about my feet hitting a board, and I'll probably move that little table out of the way. So 49 euros, $56 US, so good price. So far, Slovakia is looking to be cheaper than Poland. I think that is going to be the case, that in general it is cheaper. There is a very general rule when it comes to the prices of things in Europe. It is that the further north you go and the further west you go, the more expensive it gets. The further east you go and the further south you go, the less expensive it gets. It's not completely 100% accurate, partly because Switzerland is the most expensive country in Europe. Switzerland and Iceland are about tied for most expensive. And so Switzerland being right in the middle of Europe kind of throws that off a little bit. But other than that, it's really reliable that you go south. So we just went south from Poland down. And so it's getting cheaper. And then go into Romania from here, definitely cheaper. Serbia, Bulgaria, the Balkans in general. But then there's Croatia. Croatia is super expensive now, so it's not 100%. But anyways, I think it's going to be a little bit easier on the budget here. And the people here are really nice. It's really like a guest house. It's one of these big wooden houses, and kind of feels like a living room downstairs, but then there's also a reception area. And so I met the couple that manages it, and they were both just really cool, really good English, very helpful, showed me a few more places to see around here. There's a lot to see around here, so it's going to be a fun next couple of days. All right, let's get out of here and head for the old town, which unfortunately is not right nearby. It is a different part of the city, about a mile walk away. Okay, so we have France. Never heard of that. Val Thorens and Kitzbühel, Austria. They are definitely ski fans around here, it looks like. So there you can see the church and the mural. I'm curious to see what's around that church there, but the old town is this way. I just tried to use Uber again, and it still wouldn't work. It isn't showing cars on the map, so I guess it just doesn't work here. Whereas it did work in Zakopane. So about a 20-minute walk down this way. Not an especially nice road to be walking down, but hopefully I can get a ride with a taxi coming back. And we got funky weather. The forecast actually shows it being nice and sunny today and for the coming days, so hopefully nicer tomorrow, especially if I head up into the mountains there. So back here, the main road is over there, but I can continue walking this way through nicer, quieter neighborhoods. So it's starting to look more interesting. Buildings getting older. I think we're on the edge of the old town. Oh, okay, there we got an old church. It really has a different feel from Poland somehow, even though it is like very subtle, but there's something about it that I can't even really describe. Somehow it just definitely feels different. I mean, partly the language is a bit different, but I mean, that is such a subtle distinction, especially for someone who doesn't speak either of the languages. Okay, well, I guess we're like smack in the old town now. Definitely a different style on these buildings. I'm wondering if it's from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, because it definitely feels kind of more Western European in a sense. So I haven't done any research on the city at all yet. Just going to wander around here and then grab one of these restaurants and take a seat, but I'm not certain if Slovakia was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but I would imagine so. It's right next to Austria. And so that could definitely be an influence. Looking at that line of buildings, it definitely has an Austrian look somehow. It's really quite a lovely city, very mellow. It is currently 5:45. And I think the main square is just up ahead. So here's a little bit of the history. The Slavs arrived in the territory of the present-day Slovakia in the 5th and 6th centuries. When Great Moravia fell in the 10th century, the territory was integrated into the Principality of Hungary. At the end of the 9th century, which later became the Kingdom of Hungary, in 1000, in 1241 and 1242, after the Mongol invasion, much of the territory was destroyed, but was recovered largely thanks to the Hungarian king Bela IV. During the 16th and 17th centuries, southern portions of present-day Slovakia were incorporated into provinces of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman-controlled areas were ceded to the Habsburgs by the turn of the 18th century. So Habsburgs is the Austro-Hungarian. The Hungarian Declaration of Independence in 1848 was followed in the same year by the Slovak Uprising through the establishment of the Slovak National Council. While the uprising did not achieve its aim, it played an important role in cementing a Slovak national identity. The Hungarian Wars of Independence eventually resulted in a compromise that established the Austro-Hungarian Empire, so that was later. During World War I, the Czechoslovak National Council successfully fought for independence amidst the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the state of Czechoslovakia was proclaimed in 1918. So yes, part of Austro-Hungaria. And then Czechoslovakia until would have been, 91 or whatever. In 1989, the Velvet Revolution peacefully ended communist rule in Czechoslovakia. Slovakia became an independent democratic state on 1st January 1993. So when I entered in Old Town Poprad, then this is where the pin landed. So I was thinking it was going to be more of a main square. It definitely seemed like that was kind of the center of the old town back there at that church. And it does seem to be going away from the old town this way. So here we go, the sign. Poprad. Feeling a couple more raindrops. Buildings getting much newer. Let's wander up and see what that is up there. Looks like probably a church. Not a church, museum. And a mall. So there it says Hush David, but I guess it's actually David Hush. 1813 to 1889, and then looks like Slovak language. Closes at 5. Currently, it is 5:58. Utkana identita. So what is Utkana? Is that Slovak? I guess. So Google Translate says Utkana means woven. So maybe it means traditional identity. Traditional culture. All right, let's take a quick look at the mall. And a very typical mall. So an example of the language similarity and differences between Slovak and Polish. To say hello, the formal, so good day basically, in Polish was dzień dobry, but in Slovak it is dobry den. So there's a similarity and a difference. That's the way that it goes with the Slavic languages. As you go from one country to the next, it's quite similar yet different. Okay, nothing too much to see here, so let's go find a much more traditional restaurant. So why is it so quiet? Thursday, late June. I guess maybe to some extent it's just a matter of the fact that Slovakia is not a popular tourist destination. I'm sure there are Polish people coming over the border and, from the surrounding countries coming in to some extent, but there isn't any like famous Slovakian tourist destination. There's the capital, Bratislava. There's a castle there, but it's definitely not one of the more visited cities of Europe. And from here I will go next to Košice, which is the second largest city in Slovakia, about an hour away, and it's quite a bit bigger than Poprad here. I think it will be more happening, but here we are in the center of things in the tourist season now, and very, very quiet. So I guess this must be the main church of the city. Alright, going to grab a seat somewhere up here. Look at these prices. A glass of wine for €1.30. Is that right? Cervene vino. One's €1.30, the other's €2.60. That is crazy cheap. Cocktails for €4, that's good. And then other drinks, $2.50, $2.20, like €2. Oh, let's check the beer. €2.20 for half a liter? Oh my god. We're back in like reasonable price zone. What a relief. Pizzas, €10. Main course, 14, 13, 18.